Welcome everyone to today's video. Today I'll be talking about Dead Note and more specifically about Misa Amane, a character that I feel should be much more appreciated in the series and has often been overshadowed by L or Light just because how incredible these two characters are. While I'm fully aware that a lot of people really like Misa Amane for either her style, her personality, how funny she is, today I'm going to be focusing more on her wits and her mental fortitude throughout the series, and to better understand her situation, I feel like it's really important to start with her life before she moved to Tokyo. 19th of May 2003, Misa Amane's parents are murdered by a burglar. It was said by Misa herself that both of her parents were murdered in front of her by a burglar. At the time, she was only 19 years old. It's also important to note that Misa Amane has a sister. Even though it's never mentioned if it is her older or younger sister, January 28, 2004, Misa Amane's modeling career begins in the March issue of 18. A few months after the gruesome death of her parents, she was able to start making a name for herself as a model. I think this shows at the very least that her mental fortitude, as she was able to juggle being a model, looking joyful in the public eye while mourning the death of her mom and dad. When she meets Light Yagami, she also explained that at this point in her life, the trial kept being delayed, and some people said that the killer might even be able to get off. February 2nd, 2004. Misa Amane's killer is killed by the power of Kira. Finally, Misa Amane gets some justice for her parents, all thanks to the appearance of Kira. Since Light Yagami started killing as Kira at the end of the month of November 2003, to be precise, the 28th, it kind of feels like a divine intervention. I think it's safe to say that before the appearance of Kira, Misa's worldview was probably really negative. The appearance of Kira gives a lot of hope to people like Misa who've lived through a lot of injustice and are finally seeing that justice is being served. We can start understanding why she's idolizing Kira. March 12, 2004. Misa Amane is attacked by a stalker, most likely because of a modeling career. Once again, she's put in a situation where she's very close to death, but this time is saved by a mysterious power. 20th of March 2004, Misa Amane gains the power of the Dead Note and meets Rem the Shinigami. She's given a Dead Note by Rem, the one that previously belonged to Jealous, and we can assume that at this point, Rem tells her the story about Jealous and why she was saved on that day because he sacrificed himself to save her. If we just summarize everything that happened in the life of Misa in the last year, she saw both of her parents die. She became a successful model. She was attacked by a stalker because of her modeling career, was saved from that stalker, and then met a Shinigami that told her that, first of all, there's such a thing as the Shinigami realm, where Shinigamis look at humans, live their life, and decide if they'll die sooner than expected. Personally, that would be enough to just completely shatter my perception of the world and just make me question everything that's happened in my life up until now, everything that happens in the world constantly, and just as a whole fuck me up completely. However, instead of that, she focuses all her energy on finding Kira, meeting him, and being of use to him. Now, the strategy. I thought about it personally, and assuming that I have the notebook like Misa and the Shinigami Eye, how could I get in contact with Kira? Probably the most wanted person in the world at the moment. Personally, my first thought would be to kill all the criminals that Kira couldn't punish. Yes, I would essentially do what exactly Light Yagami asked of the second Kira, and that would be just in the hope that Kira would recognize me and accept me. However, with this strategy, all the power is in Kira's hand. If he doesn't want to meet me, he doesn't have to meet me. It's no secret that Misa is a bit impatient, so I doubt she would go for that method. The second best strategy would be to get yourself known to Kira and help him by killing the people that are trying to catch him, which is essentially what Misa Amane did. The only thing that she didn't really take into account was Kira's branding. While her strategy was definitely effective, she didn't take into account how would the average citizen react to deleted the message she sent to Sakura TV. The main difference between that and the fact that Light killed all the FBI agents is that all the FBI agents were actively trying to catch Kira, and they were getting closer to him. While the police is trying to catch Kira, they're not getting that close to him, so he doesn't feel like he has to kill them because they're not a real threat to him. I think for me the main difference between the second Kira and the first Kira position was that the first Kira was more of a, I don't want to kill innocent people, but if you get really close to me, I have no choice to defend myself and I will kill you guys. Whereas for the second Kira, it was more of a, if you disagree with Kira and if you disagree with my method of doing things, I will kill you. Light never minded that people were openly opposing Kira. He kind of believed that eventually with time, they would be sympathetic to Kira's cause. And the second Kira didn't really let people have that choice. In the situation Misa was in, I understand that this wasn't her first thought. Light Yagami really wanted to change the world and probably took some time to think about the response that people would have to certain actions done by Kira, and that's why he never went to that length. Misa Amane never really chose that path. She kind of like just stumbled upon a death note by chance luck, and now she has to devise a plan to be able to meet Kira. And she was able to devise a plan pretty fast because less than 2 weeks after meeting Rem for the first time and learning about the death note, Misa moves to Tokyo on April 2nd, 2004. And I say she devised that plan in those 2 weeks because as soon as she moves to Tokyo, she needed to have the tapes with her old roommate fingerprint to even start the plan. At her first meeting with Light Yagami, Light mentioned that the police find some fingerprint on all the tapes that were sent to Sakura TV. However, she says those prints are from her friend from the Kansai region where she lived before moving to Tokyo. So in that span of 2 weeks, she devised a plan to be able to meet Kira. She faked the video, the ghost video that she showed her roommate, to get her fingerprint on the cassette so she can send those cassettes to Sakura TV. And within that 2 weeks, she also was able to pack and move to Tokyo. Honestly, after everything that happened in her life in the last year, being able to devise a good plan like that, because personally I think her plan was fairly good, it's really impressive. April 13th, 2004. Sakura TV receives a tape from the second Kira. April 18th, 2004. The second Kira video is broadcast by Sakura TV. Even while the videos were being broadcast, we were able to see that Misa kind of planned this event pretty well. Since multiple police officers went and tried to stop the broadcast, they were killed. 4 days later, on the 22nd of April 2004, the police released a video stating the refusal to cooperate with the second Kira. While putting out the video, it's really important to note that at the end of the video, the second Kira asked the police to either sacrifice Hell or their top officials. Everyone seems to agree that the police would have chosen L to be on TV, and even though Kira wouldn't be able to see L's name, Kira would be able to see L's face, and the second Kira would be able to get his name. And because of the Sakura TV incident, Kira would be aware that the second Kira would have the Shinigami eyes. He would even be more inclined to meet the second Kira, because that way he would be able to learn L's name, and after seeing his face, he would be able to kill him himself. I have no doubt that the second Kira probably said in one of the videos or in the paper that she would kill innocent people if the full video wasn't broadcast on TV, but at the end of the day, those videos were definitely helpful to Kira. Okay guys, so that's gonna be it for this part of the video. There's a lot more I wanted to say about Misa Amane because she helped Light and she did some amazing moves later on during the series. And all of those are gonna be in the second part of this video. I want to thank everyone that watched the whole video through the end. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like the video if you want to see more content like this. And be sure to put your notification on so you can be the first to see the second part of the video. I'm Akuma, and I'm signing out.